Hello, welcome to July 27th, 2023. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation video. This is an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:41 a.m. I do this in order to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours, including last night, to see how I did with the challenges and opportunities that I met along the way. I reflect on the coming day, looking at the events that are before me. If it's a work day, what meetings I have, what tasks I know I need to do. If it's a free day, what plans do I have? What things I might encounter? And very importantly, what things how will I handle the things that I don't anticipate, the unexpected? A flat tire, tripping and hurting myself, unexpected bit of road rage from an angry driver on the road, or whatever the case may be. It's really the unexpected things that really get you sometimes. In fact, probably that's the thing that really does press our emotions sometimes, is when we have a model in our mind about how the life or how our day should go in our life in general. And life doesn't follow that pattern. Preparing ourselves for the unknown is a very stoic attitude, and that's part of what I do here. But before that, let's read a poem or two. Actually, how about two poems? Yeah, keeping with John Keats, we're making our way nicely through this book of the collected works. First, we'll read yesterday's poem, the one we studied yesterday, and then we'll read a new poem. Now, yesterday's poem was a very saucy, racy poem called Where Be Ye Going, You Devon Maid? Now, these poems are arranged in the order in which Keats wrote them in his life. So that poem from yesterday that we'll read right now, and then the poem for today that I studied before turning the camera on, are both rather racy. So clearly Keats had womenfolk on his mind, young womenfolk for that matter. So here we go. And the first title, as often with Keats poems, the first line is the title. Here we go. So we'll just jump right in. And if you want to know, and typically the way I do this is I study the poem, looking at new vocabulary, etc., and then spend the first day studying, and then let it sit in my brain for 24 hours, and then the next day I read it through without the details. So if you want to see the study of this particular poem, look at yesterday's video. Where be ye going, you Devon maid? And what have ye there in the basket? Ye tight little fairy, just fresh from the dairy. Will ye give me some cream if I ask it? I love your meads, and I love your flowers, and I love your junkets mainly. But hind the door, I love kissing more. Oh, look not so disdainly. I love your hills, and I love your dales, and I love your flocks a-bleating. But oh, on the heather, to lie together, with both our hearts a-beating. I'll put your basket all safe in a nook, and your shawl I'll hang up on this willow, and we will sigh in the daisy's eye, and kiss on a grass-green pillow. Pretty racy stuff for 19th century. Today's poem is called Over the Hill and Over the Dale. To grandmother's house we go. There's a lot of words in here that I had to look up that I either didn't know at all or just wanted to confirm. First of those is born, B-O-U-R-N, which I was familiar with two spellings of born, B-O-R-N, birth, B-O-R-N-E, to carry, but this is B-O-U-R-N, which I had to look up, means a small stream or a brook. Dawlish is a region, it's a little town in Devon in England. Gingerbread wives. We've all heard of gingerbread men cookies, right? Gingerbread wives are a variant of that, but dressed up like formed, shaped, and dressed up like women. debonairly. I think we know the word debonair, but I just had to make sure I understood debonairly. So sophisticated, etc. Usually applied to men, but in this case to a woman. Debonair. Parley. Parley. I had to look this one up. I'd heard this word before. It refers to a negotiation, typically a political negotiation, where the various sides are working towards an amicable agreement. So imagine warring factions, for example, and the representatives from each party come together to negotiate a peace treaty. That would be a parley. And then the last one is Dawlish Fair, which is, again, in Devon. It's a fair that's held in Devon. So here we go. Here's the poem. And again, this is one that's a little racy. Over the hill and over the dale, and over the bourne to Dawlish, where gingerbread wives have a scanty sale, and gingerbread nuts are smallish. Rantipole Betty, she ran down a hill, and kicked up her petticoats fairly. Says I, I'll be Jack if you will be Jill. So she sat on the grass debonairly. Here's somebody coming, here's somebody coming, says I. 'Tis the wind at a parley. So without any fuss, any hawing or humming, she lay on the grass debonairly. Here's somebody here, and here's somebody there, says I. Hold your tongue, you young gypsy. So she held her tongue and lay plump and fair, as dead as a Venus tipsy. Oh, who wouldn't hie, to Dawlish Fair? Oh, who wouldn't stop in a meadow? Oh, who would not rumple the daisies there, and make the wild fern for a bed thou? Wow. I'm particularly I'm enjoying the way she's initially sitting debonairly, and then laying debonairly, and then lying dead as a Venus tipsy. Now I missed before the dialogue a little bit that it's the young woman. It's a Rantipole Betty. I don't know what that is. I looked it up. ChatGPT couldn't figure that out. She's the one saying, here's somebody coming, here's somebody coming. He's saying, no, it's just the wind at a parley. Here's somebody here. Hold your tongue, you young gypsy. Nice stuff. Okay, let's do the good life. Yesterday, good solid day of work. It was a Wednesday. Man, I worked hard yesterday. Only about an hour and a half of my time was really influenced by AI. I'm trying to measure how much time I'm spending doing AI. Good solid day of work. Nothing to complain about yesterday. I really earned my sleep, and I slept really good. Except the heat. It was a little bit warm. A little bit warm. The country's in an inferno right now, but here in Huntington Beach, it's very nice actually. Just keep the window open and the fan going, and a little overhead fan just gently moving, and we feel just fine. Good swim in the ocean. Long swim in the ocean. Longest swim yet. And nice day yesterday. Nothing of note. Nothing ambushed me. Although I did reach some resolve yesterday. I determined that the remainder of my life should be spent focused on my book. Not writing it. It's written and done. Maybe a little bit of tuning once in a while. But doing this. This video is really the thing that I do now. To the end of my days. The thing is to get to Japan and do it in earnest, not just for 30 or 40 minutes every morning, but as part of my life, just sharing in that great landscape and that circumstance, from parks and meadows and beaches and streams and my garden. That's how I'll spend the rest of my life. Filling my life with great literature, spending my time reading very good books and poetry, and writing my little blog entries and making videos like this. That's how I'll spend the rest of my life. I've figured it out. My meandering path to the end. And with that, the things at work they don't bother me. I mean, I've got 17 months left, and yesterday there were a couple of things that happened that there were anxiety rising at work, and it's like I feel like a guy in a bubble. I watch it rise around me, and I'm still engaged, and I still have responsibilities, but it's like I've got myself practically checked out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still working hard, but I'm not. And it's different. It's not because I'm just leaving. It's because something's changed in my mind. The sense of completion in what my life's mission was in terms of raising my daughter, being a good husband and father, which I continue to be, and strive to be, and then the writing of the book, and then just doing this. And it's like, it's a sense of fruition and commencement. It's a good sense, good feeling. It's a good place to be. Man, it's good to get old. Let's do the good life. 7 objectives. To be always ready to die. To make good and effective use of time. To develop and maintain good and sound life principles. To cultivate good emotional reactions. To perform good actions. To recognize true limits and true opportunity. And to do just one thing at a time. And do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. And my 34 principles. War, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, the social principle, the principle of family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the feast of offal, distraction, agency, and the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and the principle of fun. Man, that's the fastest, most deliberate, straightforward execution of that list that I've ever done. And I'm pretty sure I got them all. I felt myself just like a little bit of riding a bicycle on the edge of a precipice, right? But I was like, we got this. And it's funny how doing it that way still has the force. It still drives it home for me. It's good when I do it and I do the detailed thing, which I haven't done for a long time. That's because I'm spending more time in this video talking about other things, doing poetry, which is nice. And if you want the more detailed exploration, you can have a look in the book. So what's up for today? Well, it's another full day of work. I got a lot of meetings today. I'm ready for it. And what's interesting is that I'm doing a presentation first thing in the morning for the team on AI, giving a tutorial about AI and how I'm using it in the workforce. So that's new. But I've decided that I'm not going to be that AI guy. My career is over. I'm simply going to use it, and I'll share with others how I find it useful, and I am going to totally leverage it in my own personal life. I have 2 fronts that I'm going on. My professional front, I'm using AI at work extensively throughout the day now. Well, not so much really. I mean, it's not as much as I just said there. It's not like I have my fingertips for everything. Probably about a third of the day now my work is impacted by AI, influenced, improved by it. But in my personal life, when I'm sitting around reading and thinking, it's got my fingertips all day long. I'm just having constant conversations, and what a value it was to upgrade to the paid version of ChatGPT, if only for the long dialogues that I can have with it. Don't anticipate anything to ambush me today necessarily, but I think I'm ready. I'm ready. So let's begin. And with that, my life is done, if not finished. Be safe, but not too safe.